Hi, I'm Laura Emtage, and I'm from Emtage Photography, and this is Steph, and she's from
Sprightly Events.
Yeah, and we're back again today, and we're going to talk about how much weddings cost.
Yeah. You have some
stats.
Yes, I was like, you
because
have
I like stats.
The facts.
It's my science background.
Okay.
I needed to figure out all the numbers. So I looked at two sites that talked about how much weddings cost, and one of them. Now I have notes. One of them from 2017 Statista. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
They said that weddings in Canada cost $42,000.
On average.
On average.
Yeah.
There, and then Wedding Bells said $30,000. What do you think is the biggest thing that raises the price of weddings?
Food and beverage.
Food and beverage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or your guest count, right?
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
That relates back to food and beverage.
Yeah.
You have 200 people, that's 200 meals. You have 5 people, it's 5 meals. So food and beverage, hands down, is the biggest cost, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me your favorite way to save money?
Ooh, cost saving tips. That's hard. I'd say cutting your guest list is the best way. Essentially, smaller venue is going to be cheaper than a larger venue. Less food and beverage, less favors, less everything, less decor. There's just less things you need when you cut your guest list.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes that's not achievable, and I can speak from experience. We wanted 200 people at our wedding.
Yeah. Was that mostly family?
It was a ton of family, and then friends, and we didn't want to do an A list and a B list, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So we just try to break it down and do the best with what we could with the budget we had. And we had a small guest list for dinner and a larger guest list for later on.
Yeah, that's nice.
It was nice. And I've seen a lot of people do that where they bring in people after dinner. We didn't even necessarily do that because we didn't have dinner in the same location. So it didn't feel like a second invite.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah. What would you say?
I don't know if I have a favorite in this, but maybe I do. Okay, I've seen a couple things. I've seen later ceremonies.
Yeah.
So the later ceremony, and that kind of cuts out the hors d'oeuvres and cocktail hour, and you kind of go ceremony to right into reception. And I like that because the ceremonies fall in golden hour, and everybody's having early day ceremonies outside, but that kind of puts you in prime light time outside. So I think that's nice. I had this one couple, and I don't know why this sticks in my mind. It was maybe 2 years ago. You know how all the succulents have been so everywhere, right?
Yes.
So this was 2 years ago, and chicks and hens. Do you know what chicks and hens are?
No.
They're just a really common succulent that grow in everybody that's a gardener in Canada has them. And so they just bought little pots from I don't know where, maybe dollar store or something, and they just literally took them out of their garden. And I still have mine. Mine sits on my desk at the lab. And
the bride and groom took the succulents, and that was
the favor.
Yeah,
the favor. Sorry.
So I've actually seen succulents that didn't go over super well, and it breaks my heart when people don't take the favors home, because you spend all this money and this time on favors. That's a big cost saving tip right there.
No,
is
for
essentially
sure.
just don't have favors or do a donation in lieu of, which I think is really nice. Because I've seen so many wasted favors on succulents too.
Yeah, I'm guilty of not taking home a lot of the favors.
What would you say photography wise is the best way to save money? This is a hard one. With photography, I always say that's the place you should splurge. If you're gonna blow your budget anywhere, blow it there. It's the one thing you keep from the day forever.
Yeah. I would say really do your research. Yeah. I know that sounds sort of like everybody does that, but talk to your friends, see who their photographers were, see if they liked them, know what your budget is, and just work within your budget.
When I talk to, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, when I talk to my couples and they're looking to save money in photography, what I usually tell them is let's cut down the amount of hours that you need,
definitely.
Or let's bring them in for the important parts, or maybe they have 2 shooters, but we don't need 2 shooters for the entire day.
For
little
sure.
tips like that.
Oh, for sure. You can get a lot covered in 6 hours.
Yeah.
I think unless you're having a super small ceremony, and you could go down to 4,
yes.
but like sort of a normal general wedding day, you can get a lot done in 6 hours. If you take out a lot of the getting ready, that'll save you a lot of money. You do want like maybe a little bit of the getting ready, but like sort of the dress,
yeah.
and it kind of gives
a
couple details, yeah. And but I mean, I've done it without getting ready. It just means a busier day for me. I'm grabbing details throughout the day, but that's fine too. But getting ready also gives your wedding party a chance to get kind of comfortable with photographers because they haven't met them yet. The bride and groom have. But the wedding party might be a little bit uncomfortable, and that kind of breaks the ice before the big show, which is nice. But so that saves money for sure if you don't do like 3 hours of getting ready.
Right. Now, would you say you need maybe 1 hour of getting ready, or could you do 15 minutes?
I would say the least I would want with the girls is 45 minutes.
Okay.
I'd say about the same for the guys, but it depends on their timeline and how organized they are. I'm usually not in for more than 2 hours of getting ready, but I would say 45 minutes is kind of that perfect, blend of time where you get the details, you get all the shots you need, you kind of get comfortable with the wedding party and stuff like that, And then the other thing for saving money is you don't need 2 photographers for 12 hours.
Right.
Yeah, like there are points where you definitely do want 2 photographers. It's not that you can't, like I would say 50-50. I'm sort of single or double shooter, but that double shooter, you always get a little bit more in your delivered photos, like hidden moments. I always come back to this one moment. It was a ceremony in Push Lynch, and it was an outdoor barn venue.
Okay.
And I was standing up at the front because I was standing with the groom just waiting for the bride to come up. And my brother Tom was around the corner because the bride was sort of hidden with her dad, and her dad was just bawling and they were hugging each other. And I didn't see any of that, and I would have missed it because I couldn't leave my post because she was going to come down the aisle anytime. So I didn't even know it happened until I saw the photos. But that was like a very special moment between them, right? That would have been missed.
So. And I always say too, if you're going to go with 2 shooters, that's the moment, like either the first look or down the aisle, whenever it is that you have one on the groom and one on the bride, so you're getting both reactions. And I don't think dancing, like you don't need 5 hours of dancing. I know a lot of couples are like, I want the whole day captured. I need, 12 hours. And when I talk to them, I'm like, you really don't need 12 hours. I have so many photos of half makeup. Like, what am I going to do with half makeup photos, you think you want them, and then you look back and you're like, okay, I really didn't need that. I'd say that too. I know a lot of people struggle with hiring videographers. Like, is it worth it? Is it not? I mean, if the budget isn't there, I don't think you absolutely need it, but if you have room in the budget, then by all means, I think it's so important. Even that 3-minute clip that you get back is just, it's nice to see you moving from the day. I'm saving money. I'm in all these like wedding buy and swaps on Facebook. I'm sure you know about them. And the one thing that I always see is brides about a month before the wedding going, eek, I actually do want a videographer, and they add it in last minute. Or it's a bride going, should I hire a videographer? And the other brides are going, I didn't, I regret it. I didn't, I regret it. I didn't, I regret it. We get that with planners and day of coordinators as well. It's like, we talk to them about a year out, and they're like, no, I don't need anybody. And then it's all of a sudden a few weeks before their wedding, and they're like, how am I going to be in 5 places at once?
Exactly.
Like, there's no way that I can be at the venue meeting all my vendors, but getting my hair and makeup done and making sure that this person's on time. And so we get the same thing. And there's I think that everybody should have a planner, but of course I'm biased.
I'm with you.
But I know it's an expense. Like, every vendor is an expense. So
okay, but I'm going to put this out there. It's an expense, but you also know how to save money for people.
We do.
So you might be covering a lot of your costs by saving money in other areas.
That's just it. Like, there's ways we can help you save money. We're gonna, we're gonna keep you on budget. We're gonna do things like that. We're gonna give you realistic budget planning tips as opposed to giving you the most expensive vendors for whatever you may be looking for.
So do they come to you with a budget? Is that how it works, or do they come saying, plan my wedding, and then you say, I need a budget?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Most of the time they have a budget or somewhere that they want to stay in, and other times they're like, I don't know, what's it going to cost me?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I get both.
Okay.
More so people have budgets, which you should.
You should have a budget.
When you're going into wedding planning.
Yeah.
Unless you have an unlimited amount of money, then by all means.
I don't think that's most of
us.
No.
And do you really want to spend everything you have on your wedding?
No.
Right?
Yeah. I've seen people do the really small weddings and then the extravagant honeymoons.
Yeah.
I think that's romantic.
Yeah. Like, enjoy that week or 2 weeks with your significant other as opposed to that one day.
Yeah.
There's ways you can make your day super special with a small budget too.
Yeah.
Back to those buy and sell groups, like those are a great place to get some decor if you want decor for cheap.
Yeah. It's like pretty. KW Wedding Buy and Swap, I think, is the big one.
Swap and sell.
Yeah.
There's a few of them out there. Yeah. Those are really great. Even places like Kijiji, just buying secondhand decor.
Yeah.
Isn't a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Like it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's environmental too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think about renting attire versus buying attire, like bride and groom?
That's tough. I know there's some companies that do rental dresses, and I think that's kind of nice. Like I have my dress still. It just sits in my closet. Like I don't know. I think about selling it, but it's sentimental, so I probably never will.
Yeah.
So I think the option to rent your dress is really awesome. Yeah. However, if you're going to rent a tux, like when are you going to wear a tux again? So rent the tux.
Yeah.
But a suit, buy the suit.
Yes.
Because like you change the tie, you have a whole new suit. You can wear it again and again. And then same with the dress.
How much does a tux cost? Do you know?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I don't have very many that even.
How much does a wedding dress cost?
Ooh, anywhere from, you can get them on sale for $300 right up to $3,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're all over the place.
Yeah. So like invitations. Mm-hmm. What about e-invites? How do you feel about that?
Love them. I think they're super eco-friendly. There's, a lot of money goes into paper and you just throw it out really. Yeah. But I love the look of a custom invite too.
I know.
So it's really hard.
Yeah.
And there's still those people who prefer the snail mail.
Yeah.
They want the
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and a great way to save money is to do the e-invite. Mm-hmm. Or you can do a combination of both. So do e-invites for maybe the younger generation that's used to using email and things like that. And then, grandma and aunts and uncles or whoever might need that custom printed invite you can mail out to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I also find too, like if you want to save money, is if you can drop off those invites, that'll help as opposed to mailing them out.
Like you see a lot of your friends probably regularly.
Yeah, your friends.
To your wedding.
Exactly.
Your brother.
You go to a Christmas party or you go to like a Thanksgiving dinner. You just hand them all out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What
way
if someone
can.
at the party's not invited?
Yeah, that's always awkward. Sliding the envelope over to them. Like, here you go. Pick and choose. If you can drop them off, outside of those events, then do that too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Florals too.
Yeah,
that's a good way to save money is to cut the florals, but they're so pretty.
Yeah, and it's sort of like. I've seen the whole range of the florals, right? Like you see the ones that are just like, they picked up a whole bunch of baby's breath from Costco, and that is like an inexpensive floral, and it looks pretty, and it was very popular for the last like 5 years, I would say. Yeah,
or even the wildflower bouquets, like they're being put together kind of the day of with whatever is in season.
Yeah.
Those again, budget friendly, super nice. But then there's like the huge elaborate, some risk there. But I mean, with the rustic theme, I feel like that's kind of that fit.
I've also seen brides sharing florals, like the greeneries that go along the table. I guess they have like longer than a day shelf life.
Yes.
And so brides are sort of pairing up. If one's getting married on like Friday and one's getting married on Saturday, they'll share the greeneries and buy them off each other. That's clever. Yeah. It's really clever. Mm-hmm. Last time we didn't have a really good wrap up. I know. I don't know how to say bye to people. Bye.
Right? I think that's awkward.